All right, so pretty much the directions on that page, I think they're pretty easy to follow. I'm just gonna give you some perspective from my angle. You ready? Yeah. Action. All right, so clay birds. Just keep in mind, no thicker than your thumb, no thinner than your pinky. And so that is a little bit thinner than my pinky. That's a little bit thicker than my thumb. It's a rule of thumb. It means, yeah, around that area. So I'm going to start with a piece of clay that's roughly the size of my thumb or half the size of my thumb, depending on what size you want your birdies. If you want all your birds the same size, then you want to make sure that you make all the balls of clay first and then you make the bird. So my first step is I make it into a carrot. So it's like a big fat midget carrot right here. Roll it gently. Okay. And then this will be my tail. So then I'm going to come around and make that space a little bit more narrow where the booty hits the tail. The booty. The booty. Yep. And then I might want to take a little bit of that tail off later, but I'll decide later. All right, and then this is the body. The body of a bird, a distinguishing characteristic of birds is that the front, under their breastbone, is wider than their booty bone. Booty bone. All right, then I'm going to just gently pinch up ahead. And before I start putting details on it, it starts to look a little bit like, especially if I do this, starts to look a little bit like a seal, especially if I do that, because it's missing the distinguishing characteristic of a beak. Okay, another distinguishing characteristic of a bird is its neck really just sort of like flows into the head. It's slightly smaller there, but not much. It's more like the size of the head itself. And keep in mind too that if you play with the clay a lot, you'll dry it out. So if you're enjoying playing with that clay, I'm okay with that. It's very therapeutic. It's very calming. And if you have a piece of clay that you're playing with, don't use that one in your sculpture. It's just going to make it harder. So this is my only fancy tool I have, toothpick. And when I was your age, I did not have tools. I had kitchen knives. I had spoons, forks.
Yep.
Stole all that stuff from my mom's kitchen.
Basically all the tools I have in my house.
Yep, pretty much. All right. So then the last distinguishing characteristic that I need on here is the beak. So the beak is like a pyramid. It's like a tiny little pyramid.
Teeny, tiny.
So I'm going to make kind of protrude out. Then I'm going to make it flat on the bottom and flat on the two sides at the top. And then I take my toothpick and I roll it. And then on each of these angles. La, la. All right, so it really looks like a seal because it looks like it has a turned up nose. So no on that.
Or kind of like a dog face, like you know how they like.
It's not a bird. All right.
Yeah, nah.
And then at the end, when you're finished with it, you're gonna, while it's still plastic and the clay is still squeezable, you're gonna put a toothpick down, open a hole up, kind of wiggle a little bit, press down that extra clay so that your hole does not get closed up. Then you're gonna mark it, look over here, with alphabet noodles. And you're gonna leave those in there. So you're gonna press that alphabet noodle in, and then you're gonna leave it there. Now, for each hour, you're gonna put dots for your hours. So this is 5th hour, so I need 5 dots. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's important because, guys, there's no way I can keep track of everybody's assignments, everybody's projects. No name, no fame. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I scared you. All right. So if there's not a name on it and more than one person is claiming it, then it goes to nobody. So make sure you do not forget that step. It is very important. All right? Oh, one more thing. You're going to take a plastic bag. You're going to take a piece of paper, scratch paper, write your name on it with your hour, stick it in the plastic bag, put all your projects in the plastic bag with it, and I will give you a big box for the class to put their work in.